Welcome to another lunch hour, power hour here. We're talking about real estate investing, talking about raising capital, talking about creative thinking to get the job done. All right, I'm just trying to eat a Jimmy John's sub here. So, number one, think of ways how you can get the projects done that you want to get done. For example, I'm working on a project right now, new construction. Lender's like, hey, you're showing a negative, you're showing the losses, you're not showing a lot of income in your other tax returns. So I'm like, shit, you know, the reason why is because when you're a real estate investor and you own your own company, you're self-employed, you get to write off almost everything, right? So you make $200,000 a year and you have $100,000 in expenses, you show $100,000 of income, you get qualified for $100,000 of your income. The problem with that is that you're paying taxes on $100,000, which is like 35%. And nobody wants to do that. So being self-employed, you're able to offset and only pay taxes on what you net. Okay, so you might make 200K, right? But you're only netting 100K, so you're paying taxes on 100K. But in essence, your expenses of $100,000 of expenses are all these extra expenses that you run through your business. So you have to add back in your depreciation. You have to add back in, you know, your interest deductions that you get to write off if you have a loan, interest deductions on your loan. You know, you have to write off. You have to add back in all your component depreciations if you're doing component depreciation, right? And you got to add back in your mileage on your car and all that stuff. So you can add some of that back in, and hopefully it bumps you back up, right? But you know, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't bump you as much as you want. So what do? I'm always thinking about how can I raise the money? How can I get the projects done? So for example, if the lender, you know, needs to have this all buttoned up, you know, budget to present so they can just say, okay, I'm going to lend you 500K to do this building. I'm like thinking, okay, well, if it's $500,000 for the building, brand new, right? How can I do this and do it myself without going through the lender? So I'm always thinking about creative ways. So number one, I thought of, maybe I fund it myself. Okay, great. I funded it myself. How much money do I need? Now, I don't need $500,000 up front to spend because it's not going to take, you know, 1 month to do. It's going to take over the course of probably a year to do. So I need to break it up over the year. Okay, do I have money allocated coming in and out that I can pay a builder to do this over the course of a year? 500K. How much money does that equal out to? I did the math already. That's about 40 grand, right? Per month that I got to spend. So I need to have money coming in and out, right, in order to cover that build. Now, certain parts of the build are going to, obviously you're going to have to put more money out as you're building because they're going to run, you know, stuff out. And then other things you can, you know, piece together in small drabs. So like what I'm saying is that the money might be, a whole lot of money might be up front just to get the structure erected, right? But then when you want to put the flooring in, or you want to put the finishing in, or the tiles or whatever, you know, the bathroom fixtures, the kitchen, the cabinets, all that stuff, you can do it in stages, and it's not a lot of money, lump sum money's coming out. So you have to think about that. So I'm thinking about, okay, the builder I'm working with, can they do that? What's the allocation of money that needs to go out, and can I swing it? Can I at least get the building up, and then I can just you know, do the other stages at a slower pace, that my cash flow is being managed more efficiently, so I'm not having lots of money flowing out and not enough money coming in to cover that. Okay, I'm also thinking about, okay, asset-based lending. Can I use asset-based lending where they just loan me the money for the construction and they don't care about my tax returns? They're just looking at my business history, the deposits, how much cash coming in and out, you know, and they're looking at the asset, the equity in the asset, and the after repair value, or what's it going to be valued at after I'm done. They're going to loan on it based on that, a percentage of that. So they're not looking at, you know, my income to cover the loan. They're looking at the after repair value, and can it be suffice? Meaning, because I'm going to have to refinance that short money after repair value into long-term money. So if I'm going to refinance, I have to show income so I can qualify to refinance into long-term money or sell it. Okay, obviously I want to refinance it because I want to hold the property. So I need to know, okay, how much income do I need to show so I can refinance and qualify for that loan? Does that make any sense? This is all part of the name of the game in order to invest. So your brain thinks of all these other areas and solutions that you need to look at, and eventually you get to the end result. That's it. That's it for the lunch hour power hour. I threw a lot at you. Recap real quick. Your best asset is your brain. Think about all the solutions. Your brain will say, how can I do that? How can I do this? And your brain starts thinking about all these different ways to do it. And you start challenging yourself, okay? And you'll come up with so many solutions, so many ideas, so many scenarios, and you have to literally go through it. You got to go through it. You got to explore them all. You got to experiment them all. And you got to fail fast, fail quick, and make sure you get to the solution that's going to work for you the quickest. This is where people miss it. They think about all these great ideas, but they never actually go and follow through and fail and figure out which one's going to actually get them there. All right? And then, the mindset is number one, okay? Like, when people tell me no, it just pisses me off even more. And I'm like, shit, now I got to annihilate you, bro. I got to annihilate you because you said I couldn't do it. And I'm going to freaking prove you wrong. I'm going to do it now. And that mentality that I'm going to just annihilate you and take you out, that's the mentality you need. Not in a vindictive way, but you got to be competitive. You got to have some freaking drive, determination. You got to have resolve and say, you know what, I'm doing this no matter what. And you just go and you do it. Anyway, that's it. Lunch hour power is over. Gonna finish. Get back to work. Live free. Live amazingly.